Yes, yes,
Yes. Yes. Good morning, students. You have already done the tenses. We have completed the simple past. Then you have also done the past continuous. Today we'll be doing the past perfect tense. So quickly recall, we have to recap what all we have done in the simple past. Do you remember, the base form of the verb that is called as the simple present? Then you have the simple past and then the past participle or the V3. So in the V2, you can divide the verbs into two, that is regular verbs which usually form their past tense by taking up ed, d, or sometimes ied. Okay, then you have the irregular verbs which form their tenses in various ways. You have a whole list of that and you need to learn it and be thorough with it. Okay, right. So here, in this tense, we will be using had. So this should actually be easy for you because with all the pronouns, that is the first person pronoun, the second person, the third person, not only pronoun with the first person, the second person, third person, singular, plural, you will be using had. Like we will say, I had, you had, we had, he had, she had, it had, they had. There is no difference in any of this. So now the structure you will be learning, how will you use it? You have subject plus had plus verb, that is the V3 form. He had written, he had arrived. Okay, so now when will you use this? This tense will be used when you have more than one action and both the action they take place in the past. Okay, not now. This is the present, and these actions have to take place in the past. Both the actions should take place in the past, and to express which one took place first, you will be using the past perfect. Like example, here you have two actions. One action took place at 1 o'clock, another action at 3 o'clock. So, for which action will you use the past perfect? For the action which took place first. So, which action took place first here? The action at 1 o'clock took place first. Like, you know, he reached the station at 3 o'clock, but the train left at 1 o'clock. Now, how will you combine these two sentences? The train had left the station before he reached it, because when did the train leave? 1 o'clock, and he reached at 3 o'clock. So, first action, when you want to express which one took place first, you will always use the past perfect. Is it clear? So, to use the past perfect, you need more than one action, and all these actions should have taken place in the past, right? So there's an example here. The thieves had fled before the police arrived. In our Indian movies, always the crime takes place, everything happens, and the police arrives later. So in the same way, this is how it happens here in the past perfect. The thieves had fled before the police arrived. Okay. So is this clear now? The past perfect tense, the affirmative form, how to use it. We have already seen the structure. So here you will be using the verb had. There is no other verb. And then you have the past participle. So you have the subject, then you have had, and the verb in the past participle form, that is the V3 form. You have the examples given here. I had conducted the viva before they wrote their exam, or before they had their exam. Okay, so which action took place first? The viva being conducted, then later the exam. So the first action will be in the past perfect. We had reserved the berth before we traveled, isn't it? Before you actually travel, you need to reserve the berth. Otherwise, it will be very difficult if it is a long journey, right? Then you had received the phone before the letter arrived, or before the parcel arrived, isn't it? Most of them, like if you order something on Amazon and all that, what will they do? First, they'll call you and they'll inform you your parcel is arriving. Then comes the parcel. So, which action takes place first? The telephone call. So, you had received the phone before the letter arrived. The next one, they had paid the money before the scam came to be known. Already they had paid it. The scam was known later. Then the next one, he had bought the house before he left India. First he bought the house, then he left India. So he had bought the house before he left India. She had completed all her work before she went out, isn't it? Everything completed, then in a relaxed way, she went out. Even children, before they go to play, what will they do? They have to complete their homework. So how will you say it? They had completed their homework before they went to play, isn't it? So that way, the action which took place in the past, and both actions which took place in the past, from this one you want to say, one action took place before, one action took place first, and the other action took place next. So for that you will make use of the past perfect. Now we'll move on to the negatives, how to use the negatives in the past perfect. So this is the structure. You have subject plus had plus not. Negatives always you will be using either no or not, and here the past participle. So you have the examples. I had not finished my work before my friend came. We had not completed the construction before she shifted. You had not submitted the application before the due date. They had not advertised the post when the notification was published. He had not entered before the security checked him. She had not read the book before you told her. Okay, so this is how you will be using the negative. Remember the structure. You have subject plus had plus not plus past participle or the V3, right? Is it clear? Next, we move on to the interrogative. Do you remember what is interrogative? Framing questions. So, usually this is not much in use. You'll be using direct questions or the do form, but still you should have an idea in case you have to use this, how to frame a question with the past perfect. So here what will you do? You will use had in the beginning, then comes the subject, then you have the past participle. Okay, so had I taught you tenses before I gave you the exercise? So I'm asking you, I'm questioning, had I taught you the tenses before I gave you the exercise? Had we seen them before we met them here? Had you bought the fruits before you visited your uncle? Had he written the exam before you wrote it? Had she learned typing before she received the appointment order? Had they participated in the state level competition before they participated in it at the national level, right? So this is how you'll be using it. So the usage, once again, what is it? What does it express? Past perfect tense expresses an action completed before another action took place in the past. Both the actions, when are they taking place? In the past. But to express one action, the first action which was completed before another action also was completed. Both the actions were completed in the past. They are not incomplete. They have not been interrupted like in the past continuous. Here both the actions have been completed. Only to say which one took place first, you're making use of the past perfect. So to use past perfect, you need more than one action. If there's only one action, use the simple past. So here the train had left when we reached the station. So already the train had left. So do you think we could get in? No, we could not catch the train. To describe cause and effect also. He failed in the exam because he had been ill. He was, that is the reason why he failed in the exam, right? So these are the usage of the past perfect. These you will be using. Next you have the exercises. So write 5 activities you had completed before you came to the college. Like before, I come to the college, what all do? I had charged my phone, isn't it? So you'll be using the past perfect. So that way, what all activities you have completed, at least 5, write down using the what past perfect, right? You can use what all do you do? Pack, check, examine, okay, take the money, all that you can use it. Then Like if you're coming on your vehicle, checking your books, all that. Okay. Then the next one, write 5 activities you had completed before the chief guest arrived. Like whenever you have a function, college official function, before the chief guest arrived, what all will you do? Like we had decorated the stage. What all the arrangements that you make, you have to do it beforehand, isn't it? You have to be ready with the speech, all those things, the bouquet. So you have to write down 5 sentences using the past perfect, right? Now, similar activity, write 5 activities you had completed before your exam. Before I went to write the exam, I had checked my hall ticket. Again, preparation. Then what all do you do? Keeping all your things. So use the past perfect and write down. Write 5 activities your mother had completed when you came home. So when I came home, my mother had prepared delicious snacks. What all? You can use other verbs. Washing the clothes. Then what else will she do for you? Okay. Uh, so that way, think and make use of 5 verbs, that your mother does for you, and write them down in the past perfect. Right? Now you have fill in the blanks. You have to once again you have to check here which activity took place first. There you will use the past perfect, and the next activity, the activity which took place after the first activity, for that you will use the simple past, right? So the first one, she dash read the book before she dash it to her friend. So lend, you have to remember the past tense and the past participle here. The past participle of lend, past tense and past participle, they change by taking up T. Lend is the present form. It is not the past form. Lent, lent is the past form, and the past participle form is also the same. So she dash all the home remedies before she dash to the doctor, isn't it? First at home you will try everything, then you go to the doctor. So that way, here which action first? So for that use the past perfect, then which action took place later, use the simple past for that. The fire dashed the huts before the fire engine dash. The thieves dashed before the police dash. When he dashed the hospital, his friend dashed already. He dashed the injection before he dashed his breakfast. She dashed permission before she dashed the office. When the mother dashed home, the children dashed already. The security dashed the premises before the minister dashed. She dashed on a mask before she dashed out. So these are the exercises you have to complete. So with this, we finish the past perfect, and in the next class, we'll be continuing with the past perfect continuous tense. Is this clear? So remember the structure. You have the structure in the affirmative, subject plus had plus past participle. This is what you should remember. And when will you use this past perfect tense? When there are more than one action. Sorry, when there is more than one action and all these actions take place in the past. Okay, when there is more than one action, that is what you have to remember. If there is only one action, you will make use of the simple past if that action takes place in the past, right? Is it clear? Okay, thank you. Stop share.